the three musketeers all together in the same podcast tonight. We
Yes,
got
sir.
Noodle with his adorable haircut, and we have Eli with his adorable haircut, and we have me with my regular old haircut.
Whole lot of hair.
Whole lot of hair.
Hola, hair shit.
What were we saying earlier? What did I say was a good screen name? Jerk off
Good.
a lot, or jerk off. It was something.
Oh, what was
We
it?
said it like 30 fucking times. I figured we'd at least remember it.
Dude, that was the name too.
It was super good. It was too. God damn it, Noodle.
It was like off Jerkum or something.
No, it was something like jerk off too much or. Man, we had it like a. We had
Oh
a
my
fucking. We were gonna
God.
like start pranking people and shit. It was that good.
Like it could have been a name too.
Check off too much. It was something like that. It was a name because we were like, we even did The Simpsons. Is there a?
Is there a Mr. Too Much here? Mr. Too Much?
Jack off to, but it was something great. I don't know.
It was like he's jacking off, but all the words were jumbled.
But it went together, and it went together well. Am I lighting this up? Is that fine?
Yeah,
Is
that's
this the podcast point?
Yeah.
Well, thank you guys for showing up.
Absolutely.
We got some. I don't know how this equipment's gonna. I don't know how my mic's gonna record. Y'all's sounds really good. Mine sounds very far away, unless I'm like really close. But
Sounds good on mine.
I'm also on a $10 karaoke microphone, so we're growing, guys. We got to
Dude,
start
if it's
somewhere.
good enough for the Vietnamese, it's good for us, bro.
I mean, you get the radio station vibe here,
Dude,
Yeah.
definitely. This is sick.
Did you make it to your friend's podcast? Your other friend?
Nah.
No.
I think they were bullshit anyway.
We ain't bullshitting over here. We work hard, so we don't ever have time to fuck off.
No, I'm not gonna lie. At first, I thought y'all were bullshitting about this whole thing. Like,
Well,
seriously.
we talked about it forever.
I swear.
I mean, we were talking about it for a minute.
Dude, I think it's a golden idea.
I think it's a great idea. We'll be,
I mean, everybody's doing it, but not everybody's us three.
I don't give a shit. I don't give a fuck if. But I think I think we have 21 views on one video. I'm fine with that.
Dude,
I enjoy just sitting and doing it.
That's a lot more than most people get, though.
Joe Rogan didn't start out. I mean, hell, he started out on his couch. You know, fucking, he'd have one buddy over at a time.
Well, he was a TV,
Already a celebrity.
He had a TV
like,
show. He was already a
yeah.
celebrity, but
I mean,
I'm a celebrity in my mind. Does that count?
Everybody's the hero of their own story.
Y'all ever watch what's his name?
Noodle doesn't know anything. He doesn't know shows, movies, music. Me and you were talking about it yesterday about the amount of movies.
We just got to sit down and make a list.
Well, he's 20
movies for you
so
to
you
watch.
have to remember that.
That's
like,
not an
we're
excuse.
old. No, well, I mean, like
I watched a lot of it. Like it takes a lot of time to sit down and watch.
Like,
movies.
how have you
gotta
not
be in the
seen
mood to
like
watch it.
any of the Fridays? Have you seen any of the Fridays?
I have. I've seen.
That's not the answer
I've
I was
seen
looking
the.
for.
It's a yes. That's the only answer to that question.
I saw the one that was on Netflix. It was like the Christmas one.
Okay, that's the worst.
Yeah.
one.
Yeah.
Like, absolutely.
I would hope it's the worst.
It's
one. I
my
didn't even
favorite
sit through
holiday
it.
movie.
No.
Yeah, it's my favorite holiday
What?
movie. But
Favorite holiday
worst
movie,
of
Noodle.
fucking
I know it's
Fridays.
got to be better than that.
Are we talking like
Don't say Elf.
kiddie movie
You were
or
thinking
like
Elf.
no? The first one that came to mind was National Lampoon's.
National Lampoon's 100%
Let's go.
Christmas
Shit.
Vacation. The fucking holy shit. Where's the ad?
Holy shit, where's the Tylenol?
Where's the Tylenol?
Dude, Cousin
Jelly
Eddie
of the
is
Month
my
Club.
idol, bro.
Yes. Cheddar's full.
When he's my favorite's whenever they bust in the different facial expressions that he makes. Like a lot of people don't notice it, but like every time it cuts back to everybody holding their hands up, he's just got like some like crazy face.
I like when they're shopping and Clark puts the light bulbs in the buggy, and then he just throws like a 50-pound bag of dog food right on top of them. That's great. Oh, well, we have a couple things I wanted to talk about. Obviously, we talk about drugs a lot. Ooh, well, that's some nice
Talk
thunder.
about weather as well.
Like that one.
Jesus. All right, but
I
we
guess
were
we're not
talking
supposed to
about
talk
acid
about
last time, and we got talking about. There's a documentary, I guess. Eli, you know more about it. We'll let you take off.
It's not a documentary. It was a paper that was done by I think it was the Illinois Science Institute or something along those lines, and it was about. Oh, pass me the mouse.
Oh yeah. Jamie, you need your mouse.
Yeah, I need a mouse. Here you go.
Let's see. The goofiest mouse. Look at that sideways mouse.
Dude, I was looking at that. I was
It's
like,
my,
what the
it's
fuck?
extra. My other one died.
Is that made to like lay down and jerk off?
I
LSD
busted.
and the elephant.
So I think it
Ooh.
was in the 40s or the 50s. If you're familiar with MK Ultra, the CIA experimented with LSD to try and figure out a way to do mind control.
To do
And,
mind control?
yeah. And for whatever reason, the guy that led this search right here with the LSD and the elephant, he
Uh-huh.
was one of the leaders of MK Ultra and the CIA. And they just fucking overdosed an elephant. And the reason why is because the male Asian elephant goes into this thing called must, and it's kind of like heat or a deer goes into rut. You know, they just get aggressive and they're unpredictable. And they were in their head. They're like, well, if we can control their unpredictability with LSD, maybe we can control the unpredictability of people with the same thing.
Uh-huh.
And
What,
That
like,
makes sense, obviously.
do you know, like, what time this study was, like, done from?
that's why I was trying.
Because, especially with, like, the CIA and stuff, like, that could be, like, world leaders and shit like that. They can deem, like, unpredictable. You know what I mean?
All it says
Well,
is back
and-
in the 60s, a group
Ooh.
of scientists wanted to investigate musk.
Indian elephants.
They
Oh.
were trying to control captive elephants. They weren't just trying to
Yeah,
control
they weren't
the
just, like,
wild
kidnapping
ones.
elephants out in
Yeah.
the wild and putting a couple tabs on them.
And
That's not terrible. I mean, shit.
they took like how much it would take to kill a human, and they moved that to an elephant and multiplied it like 5 to 10 times the dose needed,
Quick math.
Jesus.
and it just fucking shut the elephant's heart down. Like it
Lord.
if I'm pretty sure it died of asphyxiation. That was the actual cause of death.
I mean, I'm sure it's not fun to die, but it's real fun to die that way.
Yeah, I mean, you just fucking
Losing your absolute fucking mind.
Well, I'm sure that the elephant didn't even get to enjoy it. I mean, it probably
Dude,
didn't.
that
As soon
elephants
as
and
it hit,
animals
it
are
was
probably
too
like
much.
on a natural DMT time.
I don't know.
Like,
I've
trip,
seen animals
not
like
time.
eat weed and actually like lose their shit. Like they're fucking high. Like they're really high. And you can look at them and you're like, that fucking dog's high.
Yeah, we had to take one of Bailey's dogs to the vet one night
That
because it
dog's-
ate my roach.
Eyes are closed, but they're open.
I had a cat steal a whole ounce one time.
Oh,
Ryder,
wow.
Fritter's dad. We were, I think I had 2 zips, and for some reason the cat knocked it off. A whole day goes by, we're in the living room, and I look over by the food bowl, and it's behind its food bowl. I was like, goddamn cat tried to run off on a zip.
He scooped it
He
up.
did, little fucker.
He said, "I'll trap this cat in it."
All right, so you don't believe in Bigfoot, but
You
For the
believe
sake-
in Bigfoot, Noodle? Like, I mean, like on a, like, think about it for a second.
Okay.
There's UFOs, we're pretty sure about. First,
Aliens are real,
dinosaurs,
right?
who
Okay,
really fucking
here's
knows?
my hot take on UFOs. They're not alien spacecraft. They're human spacecraft.
They're just us from the
No, they're
future.
us from like Nikola Tesla's era. That was like one of his inventions that got
So
him killed.
from behind. Mm.
Yeah,
So
apparently
the time
like
travel-
a UFO, like the classic UFO like sphere thing that you're saying, it's just a bunch of triangular like pieces of metal and big ass magnets, and it reverses like the magnetic field of like the Earth. So it's like whenever you put two negative sides together, it pushes off. You're basically just doing that with the Earth's like magnetic field.
That's interesting.
What's really crazy, like dude, there's a whole wormhole about like
Well, of course. And there's
Nikola
everybody.
Tesla and like Trump and how
Yeah.
Trump's a time traveler. Like that was my favorite conspiracy in high school is that Trump's son was a time traveler, and apparently like Trump's great grandfather
But
was
you-
one of Nikola Tesla's like scientist buddies.
But you can't time travel.
There's a really good
There's no
argument,
way.
bro.
No, Shane's got it figured out.
No, there's no way. You can't molecularly break yourself down, and you can't breathe. Your blood can't stay in your muscles. It doesn't work that way. You can't think of. I mean, just
No, I understand what you're
just
saying.
can't do it.
You would be cloning yourself in another
You would,
time.
you would
couldn't
be
transport
destroying
yourself.
yourself. You would instantly just burst into fucking. You'd be like
So-
putting a a popcorn kernel in a microwave.
You would have to make it through a wormhole.
Which you can't do because there's no oxygen.
No, right
and
now
your
you
body
can.
can only control like 4 Gs in a plane, and you start fucking dying.
Yeah, it's
Imagine the
because
G-force
in
in
the
a.
plane you can feel those 4Gs. And whatever you're time traveling in, you're not going to be able to feel any of
I
that.
mean, I get the.
You're going to be safe in like a
It's
big
a cute
metal
story.
sphere.
No, you're not.
You ever seen the SpongeBob episode?
Jamie, pull it.
Yeah,
SpongeBob episode.
time travel.
Pantera was on SpongeBob.
I'm
I thought
telling
that
you,
was
dude,
awesome.
that Trump time travel thing is. I'm not saying it's real, but it's very interesting. Because there's like.
Just as courtesy side note, we don't talk about him or
Yeah.
we don't bring his name
Oh, it
up.
has nothing to do with like politics or
That's
anything.
fine.
It's
Just say somebody else.
Jim will wake up with fucking his eyes will just Trump. Where? Who?
I don't know the time traveler thing, and I've seen the videos on YouTube with the dude like dressed in like 60s clothing and like the 50s and the phone, and I've seen all that, but that's just
That can all
coincidence.
be
Like that's
edited.
just.
He's just
It's
talking to
either
his shoe.
edited-
That's just a fucking crazy guy.
I mean,
There's
some of it's
nothing
crazy.
You think
like,
so?
Yeah.
Some shit's weird, but I can't explain it. I'm not smart
It's
enough.
not to be explained. Just take it for what it is.
But you're like Shane. I can't believe you don't believe in Bigfoot, but I don't believe in dinosaurs.
Wait, so you're like a big Bigfoot? Like
No,
you believe in Bigfoot? You don't believe in
Hold,
Bigfoot?
hold on. There's a documentary, and one of the bigger guys, Jeff Meldrum, he's like, I don't believe in it. Based on the evidence I've seen, I know for a fact this motherfucker's real. Like a belief is like you believe in God. Like this is flesh and blood, animal that's here, and people just don't fucking recognize it.
Okay.
So for the sake of the argument,
Yeah.
let's say you two do believe in Bigfoot.
Okay.
How smart do you think he is? Or, how smart do you think he is
Okay.
as a species?
So for him to survive with these people looking for him in this modern era, if he is out here, and
Very smart.
I think it's more of an argument to say he's extinct or not.
I just don't say you
More or
wouldn't
less.
run into him. Like you basically said exactly what I was gonna say. If he is so, people are everywhere. Now I know there's a lot in the other side of the world and shit. There's a lot of like farm or woods, forests, rainforest. There's a lot of area, but people were talking about like he lives in North Carolina and shit.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
there's too many fucking people. By
No,
now somebody would be
absolutely not.
out there roping him and.
No. Well,
Yeah.
also, like, hold on. Hear me out here.
Uh-huh.
I mean, are you talking like people seeing them, like hunters seeing them, or
So
game
the deer
cameras, like
cams,
trail
so
cams
the-
and
so the
shit?
trail
Well,
cams.
right here, I've got you. I mean, this is bonobo chimps, and they're chimpanzees and gorillas, and these are all like, I know it's a lot to take in, but just for the bonobo, the total number
What is
of
a bonobo?
it's a type of great ape, or yeah,
Okay.
a total number of image capture events. That's a total number of times pictures were taken with a trail cam, 119. Now, out of that 119, 97 times they reacted to the camera. That's 82%. They touched the camera 3% of the time, approached it 14% of the time. Like, you can kind of see, but like, they reacted to it 82%. Gorillas, 58%. Like, their brains aren't wired like ours. They can pick up tiny, minute, like changes in their environment.
But
So,
they
like,
haven't. But they haven't just fucked up and ran out in a Piggly Wiggly parking lot.
well, like people see them all the time. Like, there's a whole. Hold on, I'm gonna pull up the map of the BFRO. But I mean that's like people have sightings all the
Hey,
time.
typing stuff
Yeah.
in there if any dirty stuff comes up. I let my neighbor use my computer a lot. So,
That's what I would say. Is that what you're gonna tell the police?
well, she was always looking for like babysitting videos. I don't know. She's
And for every person that does claim to have seen one, I mean, there's probably 10 people that fucking keep it to themselves. You know, because like nobody's gonna want to fucking be like, oh yeah, fucking I've seen a fucking Bigfoot.
Okay, here's the thing. If I walk out in my backyard tomorrow morning and Bigfoot's standing there just staring at me, I'm walking right back inside and I'm never telling anybody because who's going to believe you?
Yeah, that's the whole
Like,
like.
well, I saw him off of falling water, bro.
okay.
No, you
So
didn't.
now we're talking. We're talking Bigfoot. I've been hearing about it since I was a kid. I used to listen to it on Arbel. People call in all the time. Now we're in 2020 where everybody has a camera on their watch. Everybody has. Why there would be. I just
But
So,
who's
like,
gonna believe that video? I mean, obviously they're gonna be like, "Oh, well, that's fake." I mean, we live in
well, you remember the
2022.
one that was fake,
Yeah.
the famous one.
No, that one's.
They were
They've gone
very
over that
fake.
with a fine tooth, like
Well, they
fine tooth
admitted
comb.
they found the suit.
No, they've never
Yes.
found the suit.
No, I
You
look it
look
up,
it up.
Jamie.
They've never
You
found
look
that.
it up. You're
No.
Jamie, motherfucker. Don't get,
No, hell
he gets mad and points at the keyboard.
no.
Like,
No, hell, you fucking
I swear, I
Bigfoot
watched
suit
something.
found.
Yeah, I watched something where they admitted that they were like, this is what we did. This was like they pulled it out of a tote and shit. That's the
Oh.
one.
Are you logged into Hulu on here?
I don't have Hulu.
I think they might have it.
Anybody want to donate some money, by the way, on the podcast? We'll get Hulu from
Donate to our
Eli down
Patreon.
here. Yeah.
This has got the Gimlin dude, not Patterson, but Gimlin, and he talks on here. But I'm gonna have to fucking figure out exactly.
Got about 5 seconds
You have to,
get off a copy.
you have to keep it muted and turn on CCs.
Yeah. Actually, it's
Oh
not
yeah, we
this.
don't.
There's a fucking.
Well, I remember, and I could be wrong, but I just don't remember why I remember it so vaguely. Like, or I remember it kind of vividly. As there was like these redneck dudes, they admitted to the thing, and they had the suit, and they showed the suit.
See, but I don't
No.
even feel like that's a good. They could just be trying to get fame, and they could have made a suit.
And yeah, and they did, and they. But
Oh. So
you,
there's a show.
you're telling me
On
that
Hulu?
there's like drones that can
Oh,
find
nice.
out that I'm growing pot plants in my garage.
I
but can't
have
find a
an
fucking
argument.
wildebeest?
Well, that's what I was
Or-
trying to tell you on the Hawassi is that, like, man, let's just for the sake of the argument, they're real.
Okay.
They're way smarter than we fucking give them credit for.
Alright.
I mean, hiding from fucking thermal detection, that's
Yeah.
nothing to them.
Gotcha.
Like, they're masters of stealth. The only time you see them is when they want them to see you. It's like a mountain lion. You're not going to see it until it's too late. A black
No, I
bear.
get that. Yeah.
A black bear is notoriously hard to see. They're called the shadow of the forest. Like, it's fucking. How often do you see a dead fucking coyote? You know, like, how often do you see a dead animal, period?
I have a pretty
get
good
it.
argument for Bigfoot that I really never connected until now.
Well, let's hear it.
Look up on Google Images North American underground cave systems, like a map.
I'm
of,
with you on that.
of
Fucking
the
the Earth's
whole
hollow.
North America.
Right, they just found that shit was growing even without sunlight. All that. We were talking about that the other day. You think they live in the earth? Maybe that's why we're not seeing them. They have caves. They have ways into dwellings.
Third
Eli
picture.
thinks the earth is hollow. So,
Yeah, it's fucking.
I mean, it could have caves. Maybe.
Like, look at that.
Where's that?
I would say that's roughly like 35-40% of the U.S.
Oh, just massive caves like that.
There's also a big connection to that and missing persons.
Yeah.
Well, look at the Appalachian Trail. I mean,
Boulder
that's massive
fields.
mountains. Like, there's a lot. I guess you don't think about it. There's a lot of wilderness up there.
Hell
And
yeah.
I mean, say they are as smart as they're claimed to be, they're going to stay in those predominantly
Yeah.
until they have
That-
to come out for whatever reason.
That's places that nobody goes. I mean, people go spelunking, but nobody knows how deep those caves really go.
This is showing what now as far as color?
These are all cave systems.
The key
Oh,
is in
wow.
the bottom
Yeah,
right.
these are.
What are the red? What's the red?
It's the type of rock. The red's
okay.
volcanic rock. The blue and red is like exposed and then buried, and then the green is like I guess limestone because we have a lot of limestone caves.
Wow.
Tennessee's the state with the most caves. I wonder how many Bigfoot sightings are here.
I don't know. Georgia's got a lot, but yeah,
it was
Tennessee
104
is some-
just since last year.
How many what?
Bigfoot
Bigfoot
sightings.
sightings?
But the FRO, that's the fucking whole. Geographical database.
I have to get him to be Jamie because I can't spell.
this is last year's shit, but it's 104.
This is Bigfoot sightings. Wow.
Texas is really big, and Washington. Wow.
These
Michigan,
are all. Hold on.
700.
These are all legalized weed
Florida.
states. Is that what we're looking at?
Well, I mean, we don't have them. We still have 100. Texas, I don't think has legal weed. It's
Dude,
250.
Washington is popping with the Bigfoot sightings.
Well, I mean,
704.
there's a lot of wilderness in Washington State, a lot of national state parks.
You think you're depressed like everybody else there?
Canada. Nah, it's too cold for them.
No, that's perfect for it. Like, there's just a lot of fucking, like, people don't live up here and shit. Like, that's all wide open space.
All right. So for the, we're just saying he's real. Let's say
I
tomorrow.
wouldn't say. I would say at some point in time, yes, it was real.
Let's say
I wouldn't-
tomorrow we wake up and this is Danny Patterson, News Channel 7. Bigfoot is here. He has walked out. This is actual live footage of him walking out. What happens?
I don't really think anything that crazy. It'd be like discovering a gorilla.
Well, we're going to scare the shit out of it.
Yeah,
No, they recognize us as a threat. That's why
That's
people
why they
don't see them.
if they're
They
real,
stay
would-
away from
I
us
can
on
see that. I
purpose.
can see that.
I don't know that they. If there is Bigfoot and it's still alive, there's probably so little of them that like.
You're saying there was more. Like,
I'm saying there's probably
I mean,
thousands of different
just
like ape-like species that got killed off at some point, and one of them could have been
are they
Bigfoot.
just like, if you believe in evolution, I mean, we were bigger and taller and, you know, the Homo sapien or the Homo erotic or whichever one was before us, they were huge. You know, maybe it's just leftover. He didn't get on the bus. He didn't eat the mushroom.
there are 7,000 black bears in Tennessee. So I mean, there's 7,000 black bears. Let's say there's fucking 1,000 Bigfoot. I mean, hell, that's not even that. 500. I mean,
That's not
the
a lot
breeding
of
pop.
bears.
Yeah, and like I've never seen a black bear. I mean, I know they're here. I mean, if you go up to the Smokies enough, you'll see them.
You can hear them bumping music through the woods.
Yeah.
Their little JBL speakers, they steal off the cabin, like the porches of cabins they go and raid. Just carry
How many
people's
white bears?
JBLs.
There's no such thing.
That's
How
why,
many polar bears?
dude.
how many
No, that's
koala
sad.
bears?
I'm sure there's
I don't
probably
even
a
want
couple
that.
in
What did I
zoos.
see? I saw some stupid shit on TikTok earlier. It was
Man, the polar bears are getting
it
fucked
was,
up right now.
asteroid or comet like crater in the Earth, and then in Australia, it was like the mountain poking out, and it was the same indentation, and it was like flat earthers. It was like it hit this side and made this, and I'm like, you guys are so stupid. Like, I hate all of you. No, polar bears are white.
No shit, they're going to transplant polar bears. Rome Smoky Mountain Park.
What?
They had
Are you kidding me? Why? There's no way.
that would be crazy.
They would die.
Polar
Why?
bear?
They've transplanted kangaroos into Wyoming. Have y'all heard about that?
I could see that a little bit more than a polar bear into fucking.
Okay, so they're bringing them
Mhm.
closer to the equator?
This was in 2016, so I'm not sure if this is still even an active program, but it says they were fucking, it's a 5-year plan to bring in. I mean, I guess it's like a conservation effort in case the Arctic does fucking completely melt. They'll have somewhere to go.
Oh, they won't.
But polar bears are
Why
so
is
fucking
coming
like,
to America?
they
like,
specifically fucking hunt and eat people. Like, they go after people for sure. Like, a grizzly bear will fuck you up if, like, you
if you're
get...
fucking with them.
Yeah.
Those grizzly bears are not gonna fuck with those polar bears.
A
at
polar
all.
bear
Polar
is gonna
bears are
eat your
scary as
ass.
shit.
Oh, God.
Like, scary.
Imagine
There's so many.
they
Like,
got blood on them. They're white, but they're all bloody and shit.
it's snowing and you're at your family cabin. It's just staring at you through the glass door.
I
They're
don't,
gonna have to.
I don't believe
do
in
something
kangaroos
like that.
neither.
There's fucking 90 kangaroos in Wyoming. You can go see them now. I remember hearing about that. That would be pretty cool.
Kangaroos.
But they get buff. They get like
Yeah,
strong
they
as
look,
shit.
They look like mean ass deer. That's all they look like. God damn.
Dude, I bet with enough training you can knock out a kangaroo.
I wouldn't
Like,
want to
cause
try
look, they're not punching each other in the jaw. You're hitting them in the
Manny
waist. If I
Pacquiao's got
come
a kick
up and
like
just
that.
it.
they have no hands. It's all legs.
Yeah, but you don't want to get hit by the legs.
I don't know.
Look
Look,
at
he's
that.
putting his shit
can
up on his
jump over
tail.
that. I'm
Oh,
telling you.
He's
God.
putting all his weight on his tail and just like. Ugh.
That's so crazy.
I bet he would
Dude,
split
he
your
is.
fucking. Your shit would just.
I mean,
Split
imagine,
the other way.
God forbid, like a fucking nut shot. Like, they'd probably rip your balls clean
Oh,
off.
absolutely. Oh yeah, you're
I
not.
never realized that they balanced on their tail. That's. I thought they were just jumping up and drop kicking you.
Yeah, that shit's fucked up.
I think I had a tail. I have a weird little spot in my back.
I think all babies do.
Yeah.
What?
I think they cut it off.
Yeah, I think
Well, didn't we used to? Isn't our
Yeah.
spine like
it just
our
falls
spine
off in
used
the
to like
womb.
grow out of our backs or something weird like that?
I mean, it would make sense. A lot of animals have tails that have spines, right?
Yeah.
What's another
Are there
animal that
mountain
has a
lions? I don't think.
I don't
There's
think we have
four.
any, do
I
we?
don't
Like,
think
is
No,
there another
100 to
animal
180
is that
doesn't
like
have a tail?
no? That's the population of.
mountain lions.
Yeah, but is that captive?
Wow.
No, that's wild.
Just roaming around.
What?
So, like, I don't know. You need to be cautious. Even without Bigfoot, you need to fucking take care going into the woods and shit. There's things out there that'll eat you.
Yeah.
Dude, that's
We
sad. There
have-
should be more.
Polar bears, black bears, and fucking cougars.
I like a cougar.
Bro, there should definitely be more. That's an estimate. But like you
Yeah,
said,
like-
these animals don't want to
Yeah,
want to mess with us. So
they're
like,
gonna
especially a
avoid
cat
us.
in high vegetation, like if he doesn't want you to see him, you're not gonna see him.
Yeah,
He's
but the
just gonna dip
problem
off on
is
you.
if you're out in the woods and you stumble up on their babies or you stumble up on their nests and you become a threat. You don't even realize it.
Well, like, critters may not be a good example, but if you have a house cat, like, you can see sometimes them go after something, like, when they get down and shit. Like, that's fucking, like, you don't want to fuck with a cat.
Yeah.
And Fritters is special.
Critters is a good cat.
He's had a rough life.
Just different.
Oh, we went up to the Huasi while you guys were out of town.
That was
That
a
was
fucking
fun.
blast.
We've lost Noodle.
We helped some
He's,
fucking.
he's over. He's done.
What do you mean?
He's already in trouble.
No, I'm not. What are you talking about?
We went up to Huasi. That was fun. We
I'm about
saved
to go to
we
the
saved this
Huasi.
guy. He was fucked up in the middle of the.
Troy. He was a nice guy.
He was a great guy.
Wait, what?
I'm surprised we didn't have
His
stuck
name
with
was
him.
Troy. He seemed like he was a good
Well,
guy.
we go through these rapids, and I'll see this little pull off, and it goes off into the woods. And I'm like, oh shit, let's go down through here instead of going the main way.
Yeah.
And I look back, tell Eli and I happen to see a upside down kayak.
I
coming
saw it
down
before you did, and I wasn't going to help him.
Oh my. Wait. So it's just like floating down?
So it's just floating down upside down, and I'm like, I mean, I've been on the water. I was trained not. That's not a good thing. You know what I'm saying? I mean,
Did you
Yeah.
see him on the bank? I saw
I
him.
didn't
I
see him
knew
on
he
the
was
bank at all.
alright. He's okay. I'm just not going to stop and fucking help him.
Well, this is the difference between Bigfoot people and not Bigfoot people.
I bet you don't put your shopping cart up.
I ended up with his Band-Aid in my boat. So anyway, I go back up. I'm like, hey man, I got your boat. You know, it's over here on the shore. My cousin's got it, yada yada. And he's acting like he is scared of the water. He's acting like if he touches this fucking water, that it's over. Like honestly, it's fucking over. And he's like, okay man, I hurt my leg, yada yada. And he's just walking really slow. And I'm like, dude, the water's kind of like swim, just
Yeah,
float
come
down.
on.
The current will bring you. You'll be fine.
Was it like
He
really
finally, like,
rough?
No, it wasn't a crazy, like nothing crazy. It's just a little. But
It
it's
was
coming.
like a creek. But
It's
a little,
like a creek, but it's got
a little
some.
bigger.
It's got some
Yeah.
rocks and shit.
You could go and
I
grab
couldn't
your
paddle
kayak
back
and
up
swim
to
back
him.
to the shore.
I couldn't paddle back up to him because the white water that's in between us, but it wasn't crazy. So finally he gets in my boat. Oh no! Before he gets in my boat, I look back because he's like, "I lost my oar," and I was like, "What?" And I look back and he's like, "My fucking paddle." And I'm like, the stream, the river is flowing. Like it's not like our streams here. It's flowing. There's running water. So I'm like, well, fuck this guy. I'm turning around. I go down. I get his paddle. It's downstream a little bit, and then I float back up. And Eli's just like, I could tell he's
I'm
like,
holding on to a fucking tree branch. I'm over it.
We just tried to come out and have a good day. Finally, I get this prick. I paddle back up to where he's at. And he hasn't moved. He's moved like 2 feet. I'm like, just get in. Finally gets in the fucking boat. I take him down. I drop him off. He's like, how much longer, man? I'm like, hell, probably an hour and a half. He's like, man, I lost my people. I don't know where they're at. And
What
like,
happened to this dude?
They probably ditched him. Fuck
They
this guy.
probably did. So he literally, the entire time, the entire rest of the trip, he is floating beside us. Not with us. Just in view. And he is not looking happy. Like at all. He is not cool with it. And he's like, they've left me. And all I can think of is when I get back to my car, he's going to be like, hey, man, I need to go to Chattanooga. I'll be like, dude, I live here in Benton. And I live right there in that house. I ain't never going that way.
You've been like, I'm sorry, bro.
That's why you don't stop and help people.
And that's why you shouldn't stop and help Troy's on the river. I try to.
I don't know. Well, he made his bad day not as bad as it could have been.
I hope he's still not there. But I'm glad we didn't have to give him a
I
ride.
doubt. You never know.
Fuck, you never know.
Dude, he could be famous now. We just don't know about it.
He was very. By the end, he was
His
like
friends
done.
probably filed like a missing beat like person's report and shit. They're still looking for him.
Look, yeah, you might go missing up there.
Yeah, where the fuck is Troy?
But by the end, I looked at him about the time we see the bridge, we're getting out, and he was just like,
Fuck this shit. This is the worst
he,
day
he
ever.
wasn't paddling or nothing. His fucking Oxycontin had wore off. he was
God
ready,
damn it, I need another pain pill.
He was ready to get out and get another fucking beer. I'll have to watch some of that Bigfoot shit for sure.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
Yeah. I think it, like I said before, like I think it's
Don't be
not
close-minded
crazy
to
to
it.
say that Bigfoot isn't like real in the sense of was alive or is alive.
Well, that's a different. I can talk to you about that. He doesn't believe in dinosaurs. I can't have that discussion with him. But I mean, Gigantopithecus, that was a real creature that used to be alive, and that was fucking Bigfoot as we know it. I guess it was a big ass bipedal ape.
Good. I'm fried.
I think there was a bunch of crazy shit that we could not have handled.
What about Stonehenge? You think that was fucking aliens? How you think that was built?
I don't really know too much about Stonehenge, to be honest.
That was crazy.
Isn't it like massive boulders?
It's just like with the pyramids. I mean, the pyramids
It's
are
like one of the seven
perfectly
wonders,
aligned across the earth. Like
5,000 years ago, 2500 BC.
did they figure out how they did that shit?
Yeah, you know, like that's
A couple hundred.
that's
people,
like the backstory.
A couple hundred people could lift that up.
You
Like,
think
give me a
that?
dummy
Hold on.
tutorial of Stonehenge.
35 tons.
35
But
tons.
that's tons with an E. So hold on.
Is it 70,000 pounds?
2,200 pounds.
No, that's a metric ton.
Oh.
A ton is 2,000 pounds.
With an E?
2,000 pounds.
I don't know if that's
That's
the
a
same
different.
thing. Yeah,
That's a
'cause
different
A ton
unit
is
of
2,000
measurement.
how
pounds.
heavy is it?
So if it's 30,000 tons, that would be double. It would be 60,000 pounds, right?
Well, it's,
Don't quote me on that. I'm terrible at
Yeah,
math.
that's
That's fucking
fucking-
wrong.
that's
But is it the same time?
It's all in fucking tons.
It's a mystery.
Alright, 25 tons.
So 50,000 pounds.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah,
A
100
piece.
50,000 pounds a piece.
Yes, but
besides like a big ass ramp? Maybe. Did they
I
have a
mean,
wheel
you
at
know,
that point?
they built fucking pyramids that are just unthinkable the way they did it, and then some fucking like redneck trash. We stacked this up too, man. Y'all figure that shit out later on. It ain't gonna make no goddamn sense.
We
They
No,
moved
didn't-
isn't it like
83 stones that weigh 50,000 pounds apiece. We just fucking stacked them up for the hell of it.
No, they're aligned. They're like aligned
Yeah,
with some stars and shit.
It's like a space calendar.
Yeah.
what?
What is the other one? Not Stonehenge, but Easter Island.
Okay,
With the
yeah.
head.
The heads, you know,
Yeah.
they like go underground.
Yeah. How the fuck they do that?
Yeah, they're like you know the Easter egg heads you've ever. I'm sure you've seen them on
Yeah.
SpongeBob. We just reference everything for
Dude, I
SpongeBob
swear.
for Noodle. It's fine.
Dude, it taught me a lot.
But they're
I'm
like
just
bodies are under the ground. Like this, that's just the head. They started I guess undigging them. The Washington Monument is the one with the four faces on it with the four heads.
Yeah.
They have bodies. They started building them and he died, so they never finished them. But like two of the presidents have legs. If you go in down into the woods and stuff.
Oh man.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
They built the Easter
Jamie
Island
pulled that
heads in 1400, so that's kind of 1400
Oh,
to
okay.
1650.
Yeah,
So that's
new.
believable.
That was they have TikTok to that. No, the Mount Rushmore guy, he died, and there's actually feet pics.
Yeah, Abraham Lincoln feet pics.
They're like,
Yeah,
maybe that's not a good one.
that'll clear up. I don't know. It looks a little blurry.
That's where that little tunnel. What was that little kid's name? Richie Rich. Remember Richie Rich? He had the
Yeah.
yeah. That's his little tunnel. There was a cartoon of this little kid.
I think you're lying. I can't
I'm
find
not
it.
lying. You're gonna find it.
You can
What did
see
you
like
type in?
George
No, type
Washington
in, like-
shit.
Body. Or like
Okay, top.
Wait, go back. Go back to the one right next to it. That little model. Like the fourth picture. Yeah.
That's what it was supposed to be.
I think. No?
I don't just like come up with this shit off the top of my head.
I mean, I can definitely see how there'd be like a torso. There'd be room for a torso.
He died. I'm telling you.
Oh, wait, there it is.
Wait,
In the middle. Yeah.
Oh. I can't get a good picture of it.
Yeah, I don't know what he's talking about.
Let's see. I guess that's it. I can't really tell. Maybe. No, because they're not
Is
facing
that
the right
like
direction. They would have.
or some shit?
I
That
don't know.
might be a picture from. But what I was saying earlier, how early did they have the wheel? Because if they had the wheel really early, then you can lift heavy rocks like tremendously easier. You
Well,
know?
you could move them, but lifting them, I feel like, would be a different story.
Do we know? I don't think we know.
3500 BC.
And when was
think it was
Did you guys prove me right?
5,000 years ago, 2,500 BC. So the wheel was invented before Stonehenge. But
Oh, that makes that pretty.
What about
Yeah, found
like
legs.
a
I swear
pulley
there's
system?
legs. I'll find it. I'll find it. One day I'll send it to you.
we kind of saw it was like a ledge, but they were facing the wrong direction. It
He
looked
like
feet.
he like died, and his son didn't want to finish doing it. He was like, "Fuck that," and then his son went to make some other monument instead. Like back in the day when cable was on, they had like the Travel Channel. It came on one day, and
There
there
we
was
go.
some fucking story about it.
I can see how they'd be like a torso. I don't know about all the
Can
way
y'all
down
see
to
the
I
his
don't
screen?
think they
feet.
were all the way done. I think they had just started on like the lower part, but I'm pretty sure there was a leg.
Yeah, because George Washington has like his whole profile.
Imagine working and doing that shit. I bet that sucked. Fucking carving out
I need
faces.
reading glasses.
You're being boogers.
And imagine you mess up,
Oh yeah.
you
I
don't
mean,
get to put
people-
rock back
no,
on
man.
there.
People in New York died all the time building New York. Like that's
Uh-huh.
a terrible, terrible fucking job to have.
His name was Gutson Borglum.
I knew that.
Dwayne Robinson envisioned the monument carved into Black Hills.
But like the workers, they have to be like, why? Like, why the fuck are we doing this? This is stupid.
Borglum had the final say on who was going to do it or who was going to be on there.
You ever been to Stone Mountain in Atlanta? It's a big rock. Everybody goes there. They do a laser show. There's like hotels. It's fancy,
What?
but it's got like four of the most racist people from the South on horses, and it's just packed with blacks and everybody. They just salute it, and then it draws this like laser of the horses, and then they ride off like in lasers off the mountain, like they form together. Their
Okay. You
Confederacy
kind of
again.
skipped over something that I think we should kind of backtrack to. What do you mean?
The
For
hotels?
the racist,
The hotels
most
are
racist
nice.
people.
Robert, I don't know their names, man. The leader of the Confederacy, like the ones that did not want to free the blacks,
Oh,
like Robert E. Lee, any on there? We lost him.
like the war generals.
Yeah, like literally, like they have like Confederate flags on them and shit.
Are they like the actual people?
They're like carved into the stone. Yeah. Look up
I'm
Stone
so
Mountain. Show them
confused,
Stone
Roger.
Mountain real fast. It's a fun place. It's just packed like all the time. I don't know anybody's names. I don't even know half the people's names I work with. So they're like, see how they're carved into it.
Oh man, what? That's carved into it. That's not
There
just
it
like
goes. That's
erosion.
no, it's like no. They like carve. See the horsemen. See how they're on their horse. The
Oh
generals.
yeah, okay,
And
okay.
then like they do a laser show and they play stupid country music.
Okay, I
Oh,
thought you
man.
meant like four actual dudes rode in.
Oh
on
no,
horses.
no! But they like laser them out
Okay.
like with a laser
Yeah,
show,
that's
and then they all start galloping away with their
I bet
Confederate
that's fucking
flags.
sick.
It is, but I'm just like, all you guys, you talk about this shit, and then here you are. You talk about some racist shit. That's fucking racist. Like,
Who's
Yeah.
on Stone Mountain?
I mean,
but you can ask. You can go to the top of the mountain and like look around, and you just see how trashy Atlanta is. Like in that part of you can see Atlanta, Gwinnett County, and all that. But and then you can ride this stupid little cart down. There's camping, and I mean it's a state park. But
Oh god, it's got 3 Confederate leaders on it. Burn it down,
so,
tear
yeah,
it down.
so Robert E. Lee, Stonewall Jackson, and who? Jefferson Davis.
Yeah.
I don't.
Uh,
I didn't pay
see, you
attention.
don't have to take these things down if you teach the right stuff about it.
yeah, mean,
But
it's the
they're
same thing with.
dragging down all the other statues like crazy.
Yeah,
But
hell yeah.
Yeah, it's because people were looking at them the wrong way.
Well,
You
it's
don't look
like
at these people as heroes. Some of them are villains, and you got to remember that. Or
I
else
fucking
get
people are
that.
gonna
Nazis and
return.
shit. I mean, don't have statues
Yeah,
of Hitler, but
dude.
I mean, fucking, we need to learn from
You think we need
where
to be like,
that
we don't need
motherfucker
to
went
talk
wrong.
about that anymore? Like that's so.
You know what's
Everybody's like,
really
yeah, that's bad.
what's really crazy is the Civil War only lasted 4 years. Only like 4 years, as long as this whole history that we know about and all of our South and all that. The actual Civil War only lasted like 4 years. It didn't even take that much like history, but yet it's one of the biggest things that's ever happened, like around on our turf.
Yeah, 4 years
4 years,
shaped the course of history.
yeah, and not that long ago. That's why like time fucks with me. That wasn't that
Yeah.
long ago. That's
No.
like how many people ago was that?
That's
Like
fucking two
4 people
generations,
ago,
3
2 people
generations.
ago.
Yeah,
Not even 4, 2.
yeah,
3.
3 at the
We're
most.
getting to 3 generations now. No, let's be
Well,
like, yeah,
I mean, it's
3 or 4.
49, and then he'll go back to at least like 18.
Well, like I always think about
19.
like
I mean,
Papa. He was born in 1919.
Yeah.
You know,
so I mean, that's 2 people ago,
Yeah.
and you go one more person back. I mean, his dad was probably 40 at least, 30
Yeah.
when he had him. You know.
well, they had kids early back then. But
Well,
I see what you're saying. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's probably a ton of them too.
Well, that was the thing. Old guys from like Civil War veterans would marry really young girls so they would get their pension checks after they died. They would get like their widow benefits. That would be a good thing for them.
Oh.
People would like marry their daughters off to old Civil War veterans. So later she would be set after the veteran
Bunch of
died.
fucking bitches, bro. They're gold
The
digging
last-
back then.
The last Civil War widow benefits ran out like just a couple years ago.
I don't know. When like the war going on now, when you say war, it's not like war. I don't feel like. I feel like
I
they're
don't
just really
know,
mad
dude.
at each other. I mean, I know they're blowing the fuck out of each other. They were. I don't keep up with it.
I mean,
But
imagine
like,
if that was
like,
happening here.
War.
If that happened in
That
like
shit
the
would be
U.S.,
crazy.
there's so much room like here. You could just like tear down fields of
Yeah, this
Like,
is just 2 years
whatever
ago.
you needed for like airports or camps or whatever you need. Like the U.S. has so
Bad,
much
dude.
room that like it would be bad.
So if you look at it like this, fucking Civil War was just 2 people ago. She was married to a fucking Civil War veteran, and she died 2 years ago.
Well, the Civil War, they also had old people. It wasn't like a young war. I mean, there was
Yeah.
young ones, but
But, I mean,
So what does that mean? A pension from Civil War?
that's what he was saying. She
Yeah.
married, so she got money for him being in the war. Well, after he died,
How
probably.
like was he just like a common
Just a regular
soldier?
soldier.
yeah, it was just
Yeah.
Oh
But-
wow!
back then, like, they got paid fucking $20. I mean, just for an example, and now $20 is like $7,000. So, like, it accumulated over time.
So does that double? Imagine that money then versus
Yeah.
now. What about
Yeah.
200 years? What is
I don't know.
$20 going to be?
You think there's gonna be like a
$20
reset
is
in the
gonna be
financial
20
system?
cents.
I mean, it's not going to be anything.
Yeah. You said how long from now?
Say 100 years. Fuck that. Say 30 years.
30 years will be on
What'd
straight
you want?
crypto.
I was gonna like,
It'll all be like credit cards will be like your cash. And on your phone will have all your money.
Have you watched that Zeitgeist yet? Eli, you gotta watch that shit.
I will download
You
it.
have to download it. You have to watch all 3 of them.
There's 3 of them.
Well, the Zeitgeist movie is 3-parter. They got the religion one, and then there's the money one, and there's the 9/11 one. The 9/11 one's fucking. You've seen it all a million times. It's all the same shit.
What is it? Jet fuel doesn't melt steel beams.
Yeah. They get into that, but
That's
the money,
like a fucking
the religion
rallying
one's,
cry.
the religion one's really cool. It shows you how many religions have came from a virgin mother on the 25th of December, even on their
the
go
three
on.
biggest religions in the world all have a lot, like Christianity, Islam, and fucking Judaism. All three of them are basically the same story, but with different endings.
Yeah, but there's thousands. There's so many,
Yeah, I
hundreds.
mean,
There's so many other ones,
it's
and that's what they go into on the Zeitgeist one.
it's an archetype. Oh,
What if? Wait. So what is the time difference on these stories?
Thousands of years.
Like, so, say here's the
Who
Christianity
was the
timeline
dude?
in history.
Yeah.
Here's the Buddhist. Here's the.
Yeah, but
What
it
was the
went
other one,
back
Muslim?
farther. It went back even farther than that.
Are any of them aligned at the same time?
yeah.
I think they're pretty close.
Islam
Yeah.
is the oldest religion in the world, but Christianity and Judaism are pretty much because Jesus was a Jew. I mean, like Judaism was a big thing then, but Islam was also still a thing. But like that's the order it came in. There was Islam, then there was Judaism, and there was Christianity.
Yeah, but there was hundreds of other ones before
Oh,
that too.
Paganism.
But-
People worship the sun, the dirt,
Yeah,
fucking
yeah. The
clouds,
sunflowers,
yeah,
the
people worship
trees.
everything.
There was one. He had a head of an eagle. I can't remember his name, but his whole story was Jesus' story, just retold later on in life. I can't remember. You have to watch it. It's like it's weird. I mean, of course, it's all political shit. But,
What if there's just like
Garuda.
uh, maybe.
Maybe that guy.
No, it wasn't him. He had like a. That was a weird name.
Horus. That's Egyptian.
Horus. I think, yeah, Horus.
That's Egyptian.
I think it was him. But they go
these
in.
are different
They
places.
go into
and
how he was like born of a,
Virgin
a
mother.
virgin
fucking
mother,
died
and
for everybody's
exactly.
wrongdoings.
Then there's like so many others and so many others, and they're all just random stories. At least, I mean, I don't
And
believe any of that
God.
shit. So
Yeah, I have to watch that.
it gets pretty interesting. They show out like, I mean, they go through like a couple, like a list, like a moving list of like other religions that are exactly the same.
I mean, what if it just keeps happening over and over again, just in different places around the world at different times?
I mean, that's what we talked about.
Like it's the
before.
same power, just different
I
comings in
think we've
different
done it.
cultures.
We've came up. We've gotten, and then something happens, an explosion. We fuck everything up, and then a couple 100,000 years go by, and then new civilization builds upon the other. So you have like layers of civilization built upon itself. I mean, I see that being more because there's just some weird shit out there.
But there's no telling what comes after humans. Like, what's going to be the next apex?
Oh, nothing. We'll get hit by a comet, be destroyed. This planet
That
won't be
matter goes
inhabited.
somewhere at some point. If
Yeah,
the time
but
is
it'll
infinite
just.
and it's only a matter of time,
you're right, but it'll just spin around. And,
there has to be intelligent life after humans that humans contribute to.
You're right.
Has to. Will it be
I mean,
something on Earth? Will it be something bajillion, billion years away?
I mean,
and
the rich
some
white
other-
guys, they're getting up there in space. They figured out. They should probably figure something out.
They figured out they don't know shit and they're just going into the void.
Uh,
It's not here to understand,
look
dude.
at that thing.
I think
Everything
there
is
is ulterior motive for them going to space. I don't know. They're trying to get into because they know that's going to be a more commercial thing. They're trying to get invested in it before anybody else, because it's already ridiculously fucking expensive to get into now. You have to be a billionaire pretty much. I mean, Jeff Bezos and Elon Musk. But if you get in on it on the ground floor, fuck, that'll make you a trillionaire.
Yeah, but even at that, I mean, oxygen, all that shit runs out.
Well, that's why Elon Musk is talking about fucking terraforming Mars.
We can't go to Mars. That's dumb.
No, you can't go to Mars. It just takes. I mean, I don't know what's the travel time to Mars. It takes a few years, but you can definitely do it.
I think it takes more than a few
I
years.
think it takes
I don't
a
know, like
minute.
7 or 14 years.
14
I'm
years.
gonna
That's
say, I'm gonna
it?
say, I'm gonna say 7 years.
That's it. Only 14 years to a new planet. New gravity. There's no telling what that'll do to you.
We sent that machine there. We sent robots there to wander around.
Says about 21 months, 9 months to get there, 3 months there, and 9 months to get back.
What?
Well, I mean, you can. So just. Well, that doesn't fucking make sense.
No,
It
that's
can't
like
be.
a
Elon Musk
that's
fucking.
like
It
a
was
Delta
years.
schedule or something.
Yeah.
That we've already been there. We hung out by the pool for like, we had check in, check out time was
Have
at
y'all
11.
have y'all seen Martian with what's his name? I think it's Matt Damon.
Mhm.
It's a pretty good movie. I think it's on Mars. He
Okay.
like gets lost there. Everybody thinks he's
SpaceX.
dead, and he like cultivates this little hut he's in.
You think he did
Oh,
that
I
on
see
purpose? Because now it sounds like Space Six.
I would have.
That's probably why he like smirks every time he says it. He just didn't want to. Dude, why would you say that? Now I can never look at that the same.
There's no way it's 9 months. I don't buy that.
Yeah, I don't know.
Well, I mean, what are you measuring your distance? Like, how fast a human can travel? Because we can't travel very fast. I mean, are we going 200 miles an hour? Are we going, 7,000 miles an hour? Your body's not going to be able to handle that. So there's,
Well, I mean, you're also going to be. It's
No.
not just perfect circles around the sun. We're used to our
yeah,
orbit
yeah.
being that close far, that gravity. Mars is doing its own orbit that
Yeah.
not the same pattern as Earth. They're not like right next to each other all the way around the Earth.
This is NASA.gov Mars 2020. It says it will take about 7 months.
What's that speed?
But
though?
if you mess up,
The
Like-
speed is 24,600 miles per hour. But also, you don't have wind resistance or like air resistance to worry about. You don't have to worry about moisture, any kind of. I mean, you're just fucking free to go in space.
How many bathroom breaks is that?
7 months. How many times?
Can you freeze? Are we gonna freeze? Are we just gonna walk around and talk?
I'm trying to understand that graph.
It's confusing.
Oh,
I think we went off subject.
Never mind. Never mind.
He's over here with bladder problems.
I still fucking 7 months. That just.
You would have to cultivate those. So
If you're
all the
going
waste
that
you
fucking
use would be.
fast, though, he's at 30,000 miles an hour.
Well, another thing, like
That's
once you get
insanity. I
once
mean,
you
I
get
get
to
it. There's no
speed-
resistance. There's no, miles really only
Dude,
matters
you're
on
hauling
Earth.
ass.
Yeah, I mean, you'd be like,
Something
you know how
goes
like you like
wrong.
to put your hand out the window and do the little wavy thing. Like I'm real bad. I'd be like, there goes my fucking arm.
you were talking about what you would do, I mean, you're really just monitoring the fucking thing and making sure you don't die. Checking the spacecraft health and making sure you're still on.
There was a guy. He said, so Earth is spinning this way and it's going crazy. The moon's spinning around it, right? The planets are spinning around that. We're spinning around the sun. It's spinning around something else. Something else spinning around that. Everything's going crazy, but yet our stars are always aligned exactly the same.
Well,
Because those are all
they're slowly expanding. Space is getting bigger.
infinity.
Infinity is getting bigger.
My brain's not good
So
enough for
you're
that.
telling me that
Do y'all believe in the
endless
multiverse?
is getting bigger?
Yeah.
Do y'all believe in the multiverse? Have y'all heard of that?
No.
I feel like
I mean, it's our fucking tiny
Noodle might. I'll let you talk to him about
Chimpanzee.
I don't
that.
know.
Our brains can't fucking comprehend.
That's
Maybe
what I'm
that's what
saying.
it is.
Yeah, I mean, we just can't
Okay, look at that.
grasp that.
Okay, look at that. If you took away all the labels and all the color, you would say that's an atom.
So
So that's not a crazy.
we're just atoms.
So it would like And I don't know. You look at everything in the world, like trees and branches, and then you look at like lungs and veins, and like everything's just
You pass me the
and
water.
Nothing's actually touching.
everything's bigger and
Nothing's
smaller
touching.
versions of
Like none
itself.
of this is actually touching. There's actually
Nothing.
space in between.
Yeah.
Like, no
Yeah.
matter how hard you do anything, there's
You
space
can
in
feel
between.
the
there.
resistance, but you're never actually touching.
That's what I said. I was like, I use that quote. I was like, I could feel the resistance.
Yeah.
We weren't touching.
So he wasn't really going for it, but
I'll look up the Bigfoot thing. You gotta watch the Zeitgeist thing for sure.
yeah. You gotta watch the new Beavis and Butthead. It does a little
I
fucking multiverse
forget
thing
about
for a
that.
second. You gotta do the new Beavis and Butthead.
I haven't watched.
Everything I've seen about the multiverse has been like in media, so it's like I can see how it could be real for sure. But
Rick and Morty destroys my mind.
I swear,
Well,
On I know
Our
that.
infinity goes on for infinity. And then outside of that, double infinity is more fucking infinities. And then it just keeps going.
We'll have to get a professor on the podcast. I know a sleep study guy. I thought it'd be cool
Oh,
to talk to him
Yeah.
because sleep's weird. And we were talking about deja vu, and I'm pretty sure that is my dad pretty much said it. It makes a lot of sense as far as like what is deja vu.
Yeah.
And
He's
I
got
think-
the best theory
I
I've
think
ever
having
heard.
you're dreaming, you've dreamed about it, you forget about your dream when you wake up, and then for some reason one day you're just doing something you happen to be dreaming about. You're dreaming so many hours out of the day versus what you're walking around, and then you just happen to remember that dream, and then it feels like you've done it before, but it's not really you've done it before. You
That
just, you know what I'm saying?
dude,
That
that's
I've thought
probably
about.
what
I've
it
thought
is.
really hard on that. I think that makes a lot of sense.
But even then, that is so insane. Like how? How do you dream about like that's so Raven type like stuff right there?
That's the name of the podcast. You think that's copyrighted? Can we name it That's So Raven?
How long did copyrights last?
I'm sure
I don't know. That's a long time. Because, like,
we'd have to give her free pizza and shit.
I think Mickey Mouse and shit's just now coming up for, like, for use. It takes, like, 100
What?
years.
Didn't Disney buy all that? Or not Disney?
There's no
There's
way I can
something-
cop
Didn't,
Mickey Mouse and finesse that hard.
Disney bought everything, didn't they? They bought Star Wars. They bought.
Yeah, that's the only thing that the owners of
Pixar.
these places have to spend money on is their brand. You have to
Well,
like
Shaq owns Elvis and Marilyn Monroe.
Excuse me?
Shaq.
Yes, Shaq. Shaq owns Elvis and Marilyn Monroe.
He owns them.
So he
Well, he
makes
owns
money
their,
for
like-
their
Oh, he
copyright
owns
Yes,
now.
their properties.
I got you.
No way. So
And
like,
working for the general, he's doing good.
Oh, yeah, Shaq's fucking, he's doing
Shaq
okay.
is-
I love Shaq. Hold on, I'm looking it up.
I mean, how could he not, bro? Like, be as successful as he is?
Yeah, and Forever 21. I mean, why? Let's just say he can.
People own words. Like, didn't Paris Hilton own That's Hot? Like, she actually owns the words That's Hot.
Yeah, anytime somebody said that, they had to pay him.
How about over? What if it was like, hey, which is that pan cold? Like, no, it's hot.
He
Then you-
owns J.C. Penney's, bro,
Yeah.
and Forever 21.
Hold on. Fucking, that was like the first thing.
How do you
That's-
invest
Who
in
owns Marilyn
Elvis
Monroe?
Presley?
Yeah.
Like a Playboy? I don't fucking know. Who owns Elvis Presley? I mean, that was-
Sometimes the closed caption sucks on here.
yeah,
No, that's what I was reading from. It
that's
was-
what he really says. Like, they've got it pretty well.
Me the diesel, yeah. Oh, my real.
Well,
Hey.
yeah,
Stand up and let y'all stop playing. Stop playing. Talk heavy. Talk heavy. My real talk to him. Talk to him. So me real business. Dude, like, people watching this that really can't hear don't know what the fuck's
Yeah,
going on
right.
ever. They're like, what is that retarded person talking
God
about?
forbid somebody's
God bless
fucking
his
got
heart.
hearing problems.
Well, no wonder they gave him Elvis Presley and Marilyn Monroe. Poor bastard.
They don't know what he's talking about.
He's a huge person.
Yeah,
Like they were like
same.
doing the roast, and they were like, Snoop Dogg, you could be his skeleton. Like it's still, if you Snoop would have to be even bigger. Him standing next to Kevin Hart is the funniest shit. It like really fucks with
Literally.
you.
Well, have you ever
And
seen him stand next to Yao?
Yao Ming?
Yao makes
Yeah,
him
they're
look
both.
small.
Yeah, they're both the tall motherfuckers.
see, like, that's why I don't play
There
2K.
was like there's
Because
some
once
big
Yami
fucking
comes
people
out,
back in the day, like Andre the Giant, who's huge.
Oh,
Like they have a picture of Andre the Giant like holding Hulk Hogan, and he looked like me holding Dom, like Eric's kid or some shit. Like it just, I mean,
just insanely.
Andre the Giant was a massive motherfucker. Jesus Christ, Yao Ming's tall.
Yeah.
Good God.
What?
Yeah.
Wow.
That's a cheat code.
And like what you was talking about, like fucking Hulk, he wasn't a 7 footer. Like Shaq's listed like 7'1", 7'2". Yao Ming's like 7'6".
No, that motherfucker's up there.
I'm pretty sure it's 7'6" or 7'7". Because like
Yeah.
the tallest person in the world, I think, might be like 7'9".
He was
Playing
getting
basketball.
bored.
They picked that right.
There's him next to LeBron.
7'5".
Pull that picture up of Andre the Giant, Hulk Hogan, and he's got the Terminator,
Arnold?
Arnold Schwarzenegger. It's all three of them, and it just looks. Andre makes him look like nothing. He did better than I would. Just do Hulk Hogan. I don't. Yeah,
Nigger.
that one over there on the right. Third one, no, one more over. Yeah.
Yeah, they're picking up
Oh
fucking.
yeah, that's what it is. He's
What?
holding.
They're
fucking
picking up Arnold
Arnold
Schwarzenegger.
Schwarzenegger. So do Andre's hands, a picture of his hands.
Dude, look at Arnold's flow.
Dude, he had fingers that would, if he fingered a chick, they wouldn't be able to like walk. Imagine getting slapped by that shit.
He's just got his whole fucking face. I want to say it like with a beer bottle or
Honey,
something.
you didn't let that Andre boy finger you, did you? You split the fuck open. No.
Oh yeah, that's a little beer bottle right there. Jesus. That's a 12-ounce beer in his
Yeah.
hand. Good God. Look at that.
Wow. Look at him on the plane, that big
He has to do 2
motherfucker.
seats.
They had to strap his cock down.
That's fucking crazy though. The beer can in his hand is something else.
Imagine having to fight him, like coming up as a wrestler, like, this is what I gotta do.
Everything
I
I
have to
heard
fight
was
this
like
motherfucker.
he was really good in the ring. Like he didn't fucking like he wasn't about like he didn't want to hurt nobody. It was all like he knew what he was doing.
Still, dude. It's like fighting a grizzly bear, bro. But with like, no, it's like fighting a gorilla.
It's controlled strength, you know. Like it's not just like he's not just fucking coming at you.
What if Bigfoot is just like a big one of him, just hiding out in the woods,
Because people get big as fuck.
inbred
It's just like
motherfuckers?
cavemen.
Cavemen.
BS.
There's a
Gorilla caveman.
report. There was a park ranger that was attacked in the Smokies by a feral person. I don't know how long ago it was.
Oh, what?
A feral person.
Oh, wow.
Like a
Just
wild
some random ass person?
Somebody living off the grid.
I just think of the My Name is Earl, where the dude lives out on the bus.
I think you're gonna have to put in feral person because
There's bear attacks.
Little fly fishman.
though.
Have you ever run across the TikTok of those the redneck people? They're all inbred.
It doesn't say they're not there.
Yeah.
Connections have been made.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's like a 50-50.
Maybe, maybe not.
It depends on what you categorize as a feral person, though.
Yeah.
like,
It's an urban legend.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
You
Smokies
telling
is a
me
big fucking place.
that is huge.
there could be some little hillbilly family
Yeah,
up in the
there was-
mountains,
Hell yeah.
like
Well,
encased in a little
there's
cave
plenty
somewhere.
of those. Shit.
What's that fucking movie?
No, but like no
Wrong
connection or
turn.
anything.
The Hills Have Eyes.
No, wrong turn. That's what you're thinking about.
Oh no! Oh
The Hills
yeah.
Have Eyes is like out in the desert.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
Wrong turn is like
Yeah.
West Virginia.
Yeah. West Virginia.
Wait, what?
Oh god, you gotta watch Wrong Turn.
Have you ever like turned on a TV or
Yeah,
anything?
what
Have
the
you
fuck?
ever? What the
Okay.
fuck?
I don't know anything about Wrong Turn, but my parents were really into like those movies. Like
Yeah.
anytime, like
I always
pulled them
gotta
out.
think like I'm younger than your parents.
Dude.
Not by much.
I had like big ass movie cases growing up, and I would just go through and look at them.
They
But
came
like,
out with a new one.
I was never old enough to like watch them, you know. Especially Wrong Turn.
Yeah.
I was
the one
like-
we
I
got.
didn't
The
know they
original, the
remade it.
2003 one.
Yeah, that's. Is it
Yeah,
the full movie?
What is the 2001 Maniacs? You ever seen that one where they run up on the fucking people and they're like they're historic and they're it's just fucking they start murdering them. They tie one girl to four horses and have her like pull apart.
I don't think so. I don't think I heard.
That shit's insanity.
Yeah, they got the fucking full movie on here.
Bro, what?
Yeah, you should watch this. It gets sick. You have to watch it with ads unless you got an ad blocker.
I don't think that. I was gonna say.
There's
you
free
They
get
won't
them.
pop
movies
up on
on
mine,
YouTube
but
now?
if you're watching them on a computer that don't have an ad blocker, you'll have like every 10 minutes, like a 2-minute ad pops up. But you can
That
also
kinda
you
sucks.
just go download an ad blocker and you ain't gotta worry about that shit.
It's a family of inbred people in West Virginia, and they fucking like cannibalize people that go rock climbing, I guess.
Skip ahead to some of the crazy shit. He's not gonna like go home and watch it or nothing.
No.
What?
You're not gonna,
Hold
like,
on,
spoil
hold
it
on,
for
hold
No,
him.
no, 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 no.
Because the beginning's
don't-
pretty good. He just fucking falls off the cliff.
Oh yeah, goddamn! I haven't seen this in a million years.
They're fucking eating his ass out.
Well, that's
This is
normal.
like right at the beginning.
Yeah, this is the intro. And then it shows like newspaper clippings of fucking like since the 40s, people have been going missing. They pull her ass up on the rope. Come here, bitch.
Mm.
Oh wow.
Yeah, they're gonna eat the fuck out of you.
Whoa, that's
Wow.
your only option, I guess.
Click on her toes.
Well, there's nowhere she can go. That's part of the whole
Yeah.
like because they're out in the middle of like absolutely nowhere.
So,
Mm.
yeah.
Now she's fucked up and can't run.
Wow.
And they're like master fucking archers. It kind of when the first time I watched it, it pissed me off how good they were with the bow and arrow. It's like, god damn it, man.
Yeah, them crazy hillbillies.
Yeah, Jesus, get a
I
fucking
mean,
Jeepers
that's
life.
all they got.
Jeepers Creepers was a good one.
Oh god, yeah,
That's
Jeepers
one. That's a
Creepers.
good one.
The guy that wrote that was a pedophile.
Nice.
What?
The guys who made the Matrix, they wrote the Matrix, are women now.
Wow.
Wait. What?
Well, we gotta slow down a little bit.
Wait, so who's a pedophile? The one that did Jeepers Creepers, that wrote Jeepers Creepers?
Yeah, the guy that wrote Jeepers Creepers, he's a convicted pedophile now. It wasn't known at the time, but
Yeah, but like,
after like I think it was the second or the third one. I mean, the third one was pretty recent. That was like 4 or 5 years ago.
yeah, it wasn't like
But
that.
after
First
the-
one was the best one.
After the
second
third
was
one
the best
came out, he got caught convicted.
Wow.
At least like child pornography.
He was diddling.
Yeah.
Okay, if there were people like this out in the woods, there's no way they would be healthy enough to be this skilled. You
Well,
know?
they have to hunt for their food like pretty much on a daily basis. So I mean that's kind of
Yeah, but look how
unbelievable.
If you don't know different, if you don't know,
look
you
how
just
like
you know.
almost
Instead of going,
mutated they are.
well, that's because they're inbred.
Yeah,
They
but
just
at that
get-
point you'd have so many like.
yeah.
So many deformities.
Yeah.
Well, that's like, I mean, they're fucked up pretty bad.
House of a Thousand. House of a Thousand Corpses will always be my favorite scary movie or horror movie. It's just brilliant. Filmed. It's filmed brilliantly. It's gross.
Oh wait, they said a booby trap, and that all right, so that sets it up. He's a
I'm
fucking.
definitely not gonna
He's
go
a.
watch it if y'all show me all the good shit.
Well, this is just like the fucking first 5 minutes.
It's still
so.
like he's still only 8 minutes
Yeah,
in.
this
bro.
isn't. All right, so
People have been
he's like a
slaughtered.
fucking super douche coming through North Carolina.
How many times have you seen this movie?
Oh god, I used to love this. I watch this shit all the time.
Weird.
He's like, hey,
Are they gonna
fucking.
pick him off at the gas station?
Oh no, that's like the
Oh.
entryway. He's like, hey, fucking dickhead, where's the back road so I can go around the traffic?
Don't go that way.
Yeah, don't go
There's
that
a
way.
terrible
It's-
curse, of course. You know, like all movies. That noodle has
He's
never
drinking Pepto Bismol out the bottle.
seen.
I'm pretty sure I'm related to him. It looks like somebody I know.
Oh yeah. It's probably warm too. You see how like that stuff wasn't sticking to the side of the bottle. That was. That stuff was like straight up strawberry milk. Not even.
There are some really stupid horror movies like Rubber. This is a tire that rolls around in the desert and makes people's head explode. Like I expect you not to know about that movie. Or like Hobo with a Shotgun. I expect you to not know
I
about
kind of
that.
like.
Or like
Hobo with a Shotgun.
Gremlins or like something like that. You should know like Gremlins.
Yeah, I
You
know.
know,
Leprechaun.
You know, Leprechaun. You should probably not know
Yeah.
that, but
Like I know of
Candyman.
movies and I get some
Candyman.
references, but like,
Candyman was the one that scared me as a kid. Public bathrooms and bees. Here we go. We got
He's
the
coming to
fucking
get me.
Candyman here.
I didn't even say it.
I didn't even think about it. No, there was one. Dr. Giggles. It was a dentist, and I used to sneak it out like it was a movie mom and dad would have, and it was like terrifying. And he would like fuck these people's mouths up and like murder them.
Oh god.
That was like one of the first like scary movies I remember ever. I was like, well, I'll never go to the dentist.
Teeth freaked me the fuck out.
yeah, that doesn't sound like a movie I'd want to watch.
Have you seen Teeth?
Teeth?
Have you seen the movie Teeth?
Oh,
is that
no.
about that chick?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Look, a movie he fucking knows that you don't.
Yeah, I don't know
Yeah,
what
this
that
chick
is.
has fucking teeth. She
Dude,
grew up
that
next
was
to a
like-
nuclear fucking power plant,
Dude,
and
I
she
went-
has teeth in her fucking pussy. So she gets like fucking molested this one time, and like he won't stop, and like finally she's like, okay, fuck it, and then she just like bites his shit off with her and it shows that at the end like
She's
she
got
has,
a fucking
like, she has-
superpower.
she has a pussy, but it just is filled with.
Teeth.
I think maybe. It was
How
a
did he
conjoined-
not notice?
I think it was a conjoined twin issue. I think that's because she grew up near a nuclear power plant. She had a conjoined twin, but half its mouth was in its vagina. I don't know. It was
God.
weird. It was a very weird
Oh,
movie. But it's called Teeth, and it's fucked up. There's a masturbating scene where she starts pricking her finger when she starts to find out about it.
It's 2007 too, so yeah, it's like
Yeah.
it's pretty shitty.
It was when everybody was making movies.
Yeah.
Like anybody that could make a movie was making a movie.
You have a camera and 3 friends.
All those like high tension movies, I hated those. I didn't like the Saw movies. Saw 1 was excellent, and then the rest of them were just
Dude, all those movies. Where Saw 1 was made by like two college
just-
roommates
Yeah. Oh yeah.
with like a cameraman
Yeah. And they made
in one room.
yeah.
They made the whole movie in one
Yeah.
room. Maybe 2 rooms. I don't know.
Well,
Something stupid
They
crazy
filmed
like that.
but they filmed it in like no time too.
Yeah.
like stupid.
It's like it
amount
was
of
like a
time.
college project for them or something.
And that is on my top 5, probably top 10.
The first Saw movie.
Yeah, absolutely.
I like
See,
Hostel.
like I just don't
I
like.
didn't like the Hostel.
You didn't like Hostel?
Mm.
I don't
I
really
like how
stuff
Saw
like
tricked
Saw.
me. They tricked me. I was tricked, bro. And like I was
Fucking bamboozled.
bamboozled. What year did Saw come out? Like 2006, 2000? No, yeah, 2005. Bamboozled. I was really into movies. If I'm not mistaken, I was working at Blockbuster. And I was super into movies. And I was just like,
You worked at
oh
Blockbuster,
yeah, that's a callback.
bro.
Absolutely.
So you were like,
Yeah, I worked at
You
Blockbuster
were
in
the shit.
Monroe, Georgia. It was a blast. My uncle worked at Blockbuster here. I used to help him like run movies and shit when I was like 12. And I was like, I want to work at Blockbuster one day.
yeah, dude.
I did. It
You
was
whip out that
terrible.
Blockbuster
It was
patch. You're the
terrible.
coolest dude ever.
People really do that shit where they're like, hey man, you know that one movie that's got that guy, he's got the car and they're driving and he's like talking to the girl and the girl's got red hair. No, it's like blue hair. No, they're not driving, they're on horses. And like just stupid ass shit.
Yeah, I know
And
exactly the movie you're talking about.
I remember this woman. This woman fucking come in one time. It was some Mean Girls maybe. Who's that girl that's in the Mean Girls? Lindsay Lohan. Some fucking Lindsay Lohan
Yeah.
movie. They rent the movie and they come back and she's like, I cannot believe y'all would let us rent this. She was like, there was a death scene in the movie and my daughter is extremely upset about it. I'm like,
Are you
you
shitting me?
fucking rented it. You drove over here and rented
Yeah.
it. A death scene? Like, at some point you're going to have to tell your little princess that shit dies.
What movie was it, you know?
Mean Girls with Lindsay Lohan, if I'm not mistaken.
Mean
It was
Girls?
a Lindsay Lohan movie for sure. But it seems like it was Mean Girls.
Like a Herbie or some
Like,
shit.
there was
the car
some-
Dude,
dies.
Herbie was intense.
Was it Herbie? I
Oh,
can't
I'll
remember what
turn
it
you
was.
I only like the
The
Lindsay
fucking
Lohan.
death scene, though. Like, what a pussy.
I don't know. I haven't watched too much Lindsay Lohan.
Tell your daughter not to
Shut
be a
up,
little
dude,
fucking
dude.
wuss. Jesus
Yeah,
Christ,
like,
things
she's
die.
going to have to grow up.
Have
Never
you not
lost a
told her
fucking
that
pet?
yet?
Like,
Yeah. Do I need to come over and fucking kill her dog?
that was fun. I had a blast working at Blockbuster. Like, and it was
What
during
year did you like? When did you work there?
2005 to 2006.
They were still like they weren't starting to close down
They
yet.
were starting to. Definitely.
They were starting to.
Yeah. Like Netflix was a thing, but Netflix was
It's still mail.
it was mail. You mailed
Yeah.
DVDs to you. The streaming thing wasn't at all.
Yeah.
The first movie I
You
ever
ordered a movie.
yeah,
and
you
it got
ordered
mailed to
movies
you.
on DVD. You watched them and you sent them back. It was so lame.
Yeah.
The first
What
movie
do you
I
mean,
ever
Netflix?
yeah, and when Netflix
Yeah,
first
dude. I
started,
used to
that's how
do
it was.
With video games and
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah. We GameFly. We
The
looked that up.
GameFly,
That's still a
yeah.
thing.
Dude, I had Netflix on my Wii because they sent us the base
Yeah, I
disc,
remember that. Yeah, you had
and
to
you
have the
downloaded
Netflix
it on your
disc.
Wii, and then you downloaded
The first movie I ever
store.
remember hearing about streaming and watching online was the Seth Rogen when they got banned.
The interview.
The interview. They
Oh,
couldn't
such a
show it
good
in theaters. They couldn't show it anywhere, and they were like, "Well, we're gonna stream it." Like, and I was like, "You're gonna be able to watch it?
Just
Like,
gonna put it on the
fuck
internet.
Yeah. Like, you
Under
know."
a subscription service.
And then some little subscription service started. And Netflix started streaming movies. They had like 9.
It's,
You know, and now
No, like,
Netflix
that's-
owns everything.
That's how simple Netflix is.
Yeah.
Hey, I want to play this movie
Yeah.
on your streaming service, and you get this percentage of the money
Like,
from
do
it.
y'all watch South Park? Like, do you keep up with it?
No, I've not really watched too
They
much
just
South
came
Park.
out with a new episode. It's like an hour and a half long. He's only doing like these movies like now, but it's called streaming services, and it's fucking. It's not the best. It's not as good as like the COVID ones. It's
Well,
but
their
it's
whole
entertaining at best.
their
See, but-
schedule's ridiculous. They do the whole show in 6 days.
Yeah, they
that
quit-
blows my fucking
They
mind.
quit doing that, I think.
Did really?
Well, no, for the movies they don't do them like the big specials.
Yeah.
Like they did just do a season, and I'm sure they still do it in the 7 days.
Yeah.
Wait, so
Because
how
that's how
long?
they stay like relevant. Each episode is like
He was
it's,
like-
it's always something that just
There,
happened.
there's interviews. Trey's like, we have to. We're on Wednesday night. We have a whole show. Has to be on 8:30 Wednesday night. It is Saturday night, and or Friday night.
Yeah,
we don't
we're
even know
fucked.
what we're doing. No, that's why South Park is able to stay so up to date. Like they're able to
Wait.
stay on today's topic because
They're
on
coming out today.
they're like on Thursday they're starting a new episode. They're
Yeah.
sitting down and like, what are we gonna do? And then it airs on Wednesday, 5-6 days later.
I think you've seen the same interview as me. That made him like that made me like him more because it
Oh,
was
yeah.
one. It was like, man, I was really on the verge of like honestly, I was gonna kill myself.
Yeah.
The episode we had was so horrible, and I fucking hated it.
It ended
And
up
it
being
went
like the
out.
best one.
I
yeah.
can't. What episode was it? I can't remember which one it was. But
There's
it
a
was one of my
documentary name.
favorites.
The documentary is called 7 Days to Air.
Yeah.
That's the name, and it's a documentary. They go through the South Park studio and they show how they do it all in 7 days. From voicing to cartooning to doing it all
It's
in
just
7
fucking
days.
crazy.
Family Guy takes 9 months to write one episode. It's like 9 or 10 months, and they explain that. Yeah, just for one
What?
episode. And South Park's doing it.
How? There hasn't been 9. What?
That's why it takes. That's why shows like that they mass produce. They're doing they're doing all 13 of their shows at the same time,
Yeah.
but through different groups of people. You should really watch that South Park. That South Park thing is really cool. I mean, to
9
just come up
months?
with stuff like that to be
How
that
does it
good.
take 9 months? But there's so many episodes.
Yeah.
Well, like
'cause
you said, they do them all at the
they're
same
doing
time.
all at the same time.
Oh.
So every season it takes a year for them to come out with 13 episodes. But for one
and they just
episode,
drop
for
them all
one
at the same
group, yeah, for
Okay,
one
I
group
see
to
what
make
you're
that one episode,
They'll
it takes
save
about
different
10
bits
months.
and shit. Like, oh, that works well with that episode, or
Well, you
that
know,
doesn't
Family
well.
Guy actually is not as funny anymore, and I did find out Seth MacFarlane, he quit writing or having anything to do with it in 2011, and that's literally when it started going downhill. Like, I mean, there's always been writers. It's not like he wrote everything. There were writers then, but he
Yeah.
had more to do with it then. Now it's just,
Yeah,
he
but
just
he
shows
just
up.
doesn't give
He
a
just shows up,
fuck.
throws Stewie's voice out, throws Quagmire's voice out, grabs the check, goes home. You know, he's obligated to do that. Let me see that weird ass mouse for a minute.
So he literally just reads the script now?
He was supposed to die on 9/11.
Yeah.
He missed his plane. He was supposed to be on the plane. Although they joke about it a lot on there.
Wait, so you think that was like intentional?
No, he just got. There was a couple people. They stayed up late watching Monday Night Football and fucking
One guy
missed their
spilled
flight.
fucking coffee on his pants. I mean, there's all different kinds of
There's
stories. of
there's a
people.
couple different stories of people missed. Yeah, several.
You know,
missed
like
their
I was
flight.
supposed, I spilled coffee on my pants. I was supposed to be on the fucking South Tower, like whatever. Like, just as many people that died. I mean, there was probably fucking people that like, oh, fucking something fucked up, and I would just miss my flight or miss the bus, miss the train. Taxi was taking too long in traffic.
Yeah,
And
but
you're
Seth
like-
MacFarlane
you're like
was
the-
like one of the most popular people.
At the
and-
time, not
Well, not
really.
popular, famous, I should say.
No, not at the time. Not
Right.
at all.
When
Family Guy
was
came out in
popping, man.
'99. It got canceled in 2000. It came back in 2001. Like, he was getting famous, but it was only on like
2000.
2000. It came out.
Oh, no.
It
I was
came out on
thinking- okay, never mind. Yeah, I
after
was
the
mixed
Super
up.
Bowl on 1999. It came on after the Super Bowl, and then it came out for like 3 episodes, and it got canceled. They brought it back, and then they got canceled for like a year, and then finally fans raised hell, and they brought it back, and they did season 3, season 4, and then I think season 3 was right around 9/11. It was like 2001.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
He was getting famous. Now he's fucking famous, you know.
Yeah.
Did you ever watch the Million Ways to Die in the West? You gotta watch that one.
Dude.
Have you seen it? That shit's funny.
That's honestly one of my favorite movies of all time.
The fucking
And I can't find it like on any service.
it's on you got pirate shit, bro. Fuck that. Dude,
Yeah.
Just
anytime
download
anything
it.
comes out, I just download it. I'm not gonna say the name, you know. No one the feds in here, but you just download it. It's fine.
Yeah.
Download it. You
I-
gotta get the new fucking Beavis and Butthead. It's
I'm
funny.
absolutely gonna do that. Like, I watched the original one, you know, the original movie, Do America. That was stupid.
It's do the universe now.
Oh wow. I'm gonna probably watch that tonight. Actually,
Yeah.
Dude,
It's
I've
funny
never
as
seen
fuck.
any Beavis and Butthead. Like, for real. I've seen commercials and it just.
it was weird. Like, first time it was really funny. It's not as smart as like Family,
No, it's just fucking
like
two
Family Guy,
idiots
and yeah, that.
kicking each other in the nuts.
Yeah,
They would sit around and watch music videos like that. That would be the whole
that
thing.
was their cool
They
thing.
would like show.
Because MTV used to have music videos, and like not just ridiculousness. Like there was other things.
It's 24/7 ridiculousness.
I seen a thing. He does 265 something like that. It's like 265 shows a year. He's contractually obligated to do for MTV.
Like that's all they have to offer now. It's just him.
It's
They
just
don't
fucking
have.
ridiculousness.
They have
And
nothing
he
else to
makes
show.
He's millions, bro.
Dude,
He
there's
has
an interview with him, and he was like, "You know how many days a year you add on to your schedule just by waking up an hour earlier?" I was like, "This dude's really getting that
Genius.
bag."
Genius mode.
Like, and most of that at one point was Fantasy Factory.
Yeah.
So he had like 3 shows
Oh
on
yeah,
there.
yeah.
And, then
I'm
eventually
sure
it just became
and
ridiculousness,
then
and now he's like,
I'm sure he's an executive producer of anything
Oh,
else
yeah.
on MTV.
Well, he's got his
yeah.
own production studios. It's the Super Jacket or whatever.
Oh yeah, yeah.
That's his own thing. Like he owns that.
I
And
mean,
he's got
honestly,
like a. I'm pretty sure he's still got a stake in DC. I mean, he fucking owns MTV pretty much with the show.
Who would you want to hang out with out of the 3? Him, Snell, or what's the other dude's name? Damn, I can't think of his name.
Stilo. Yeah.
Stilo would be really cool to hang
Stilo
out
would be
with.
cool, but I don't know. Rob, he's fucking smart.
Yeah,
Like,
but he seems like a dick.
yeah,
he
he's
seems
definitely
like
he's
a
a
douche.
fucking
Stilo, bro.
douche. Absolutely.
I'd probably hang. I mean, everybody'd be like, "Oh, Chanel." I'd be like, "She's just gonna yell at me, stop touching her." So I'd probably go hang out and smoke with
I
fucking.
don't know.
Stilo
I don't like
Graham.
Chanel's laugh.
She's just on like not
You
even on the
shut your
list.
dirty whore mouth. You don't talk about her that way.
My sweet little baby boo.
I like
You see
Chanel.
that
She
face
got a
up?
lot better.
You
after
see that face
Kelly.
up there in that mask?
Uh-huh.
That's what happened to the last person that talked
Oh
shit
my
about.
god. That's a cool mask.
I bet Stilo Graham would be cool to hang out with. Smoke bud. He knows everybody. He's gonna get you in anywhere.
It would be cool.
I bet it'd be more low key. Like if you want that, like, oh, I'm here hanging out. I'm here hanging out with Rob Durden.
Yeah.
He's
Fuck
gonna
that.
put me on me. So,
Nobody- he
if that's
doesn't-
what you're going for,
no, fuck
more
that.
low key would still.
I feel like he's gonna get mad at me for touching stuff. He's gonna be
yeah.
like, Shane, put down the goddamn surfing board, motherfucker. Like,
I don't know, bro.
No,
You didn't
I
watch
feel
enough
like-
Fantasy Factory.
no, I
Whatever
don't
was
know.
happening, he would just come out like a segment later with like a motorized like surfboard on wheels.
He gave fucking Justin Bieber a car or a fucking what are those?
He just wanted space for other toys,
Yeah. He's
probably.
like, get this shit out of here.
As weird as it sounds, I want to play him in chess. He seems like fucking he'd be really
Rob Dyrdek in
competitive.
chess.
I feel like I could fucking take him in chess.
You
I'd
play
fucking
chess?
Piss him off real good.
You ever play chess, Noodle?
I have not.
Yeah.
I mean, a little bit.
It's a good game, but I gotta be in the right headspace, the right mood.
I want to play. I've been itching. I've been wanting to play for a couple months. Fucking
My
Jim
buddy
don't want
Craig.
to
Seems
play.
a little confusing.
He always wants to play, but I never feel like playing. And then you never catch him in the right mood. My buddy Craig, every time he has a traveling kit. Anytime we go fishing, he's like he has a full nice board that floats out with these nice pieces. He's like just in the middle of the woods playing fucking chess.
Just to pass the time.
Yeah. Well, Noodle, dude, I'm glad you came over. Eli, you're always over here, so I don't gotta thank you for being over.
Fuck you.
You're the co-host.
I'm out.
You're my Jamie. It's
Dude,
fine. Like
anytime.
we gotta have a Jamie. I think it's pretty cool in here. Maybe one day
Yeah,
we'll have a
man.
bigger
No, dude,
room.
this
We'll
is
have
dope
better
setup.
mics. We won't have a drunk Jamie, you know. Or maybe we'll have tonight he's sober. Maybe that's the problem.
Dude, I
didn't
thought
get him,
tonight was really chill.
we didn't get him ran. But I do appreciate it, buddy.
Yeah, man. Anytime.
We're out, boys.
Peace.